What is your secret hobby? I love to design things, whether games or art. I like to design. Nobody else knows though. Now we know. Imagining whole ass fantasy stories with me in lead and how different it would be with my choices. In short, daydreaming. If only I was a talented writer. I have so many complex and layered stories in my head. I know most of them are probably just unconsciously ripped off from movies and video games I've seen, but it's fun thinking about. You are probably a maladaptive daydreamer. I am a maladaptive daydreamer too, and thank God, I'm a good writer too lol. I love writing about the characters and world I created in my head. It helps my depression too. Writing is the only time I don't feel useless lol. I hand paint the figurines that come with my board games. I'll easily spend 10 to 12 hours painting each character, despite the fact that I may only play the game once or twice. Sorry, Zombicide. I picked up mini painting for D&D about a year ago. I'm still ass, but I love doing it. Also rediscovered a drawing tablet I bought years ago and am trying my hand at digital painting again. That is proceeding very poorly, but I'm excited to learn. My parents' house lost all the trees in their backyard to the emerald ash borer. Me and my dad have been planting a bunch of varied species, and whenever I visit my folks I've been monitoring their growth, looking up growth rates, seeing what new trees would look good. It's been a lot of fun. When in a car, I always imagine a guy on a skateboard next to us doing all sort of tricks. Sometimes I even use my fingers to act out the grinding on the safety barriers. I'm 29. I'm 37 and do the same thing. One of my kids has picked up the habit also. This shit. Is this a hobby or addiction, crutch or escape? Whatever it is, I think I need help. To answer your question, yes. General organization of everything in my home. I can't stand it when it gets too messy. I wish my spouse had this hobby. Writing fanfiction. I don't do it because I want X and Y characters to fall in love and live happily ever after. I do it because writing stories is fun. I think most aspiring authors should take a crack at it. It's a good characterization and world building exercise emo. Greater than good characterization and world building exercise emo. Weirdly, those are the two things I wouldn't think you'd get much from fanfiction. I guess it forces you to think about how the original creators built the characters and the world, and you can focus on how to stick with those and differentiate characters. But that's the stuff that's already done for you writing in an existing universe with existing characters. No? I always saw it as a good way to work on effective plot beats, dialogue, and the craft of writing without worrying about those things. A lot of stories will only focus on a certain part of the universe and only mention something in passing. I believe that's where fanfiction authors step in and flesh out the details for parts of the world that isn't explored in canon as a test on world-building skills. UFO research. I don't tell anyone, even my closest friends and family, because the entire phenomenon is treated like a joke, and those who are interested in it are idiots, crazy or whatnot. The topic has fascinated me for almost a decade now. I've read close to 100 books, most e-books, dating back from the 1940s and up. I've watched hours and hours of documentaries, footage, looked at thousands of photos, etc. It seems the more I read into this topic, the less I know. And the less I can actually pin it on something, such as ETs. In fact, I still don't know what to think of it all, so I just keep myself from drawing any conclusions and keep an open mind. It's so strange, but I can't get enough of it. Wait till you see one. Looking at the contents of other people's trolleys in the supermarket and thinking up a backstory that led to that particular combination and quantity of items. Not that long ago I read a comment on Reddit where a guy wanted to try sex with a carrot, but didn't want to just buy carrots and Vaseline. So he bought all the ingredients to make a carrot cake plus Vaseline. Cashiers don't give a shit, but good for him. Rewatching my favorite shows in Spanish to become more familiar with the language. That's actually a really good tip for learning a new language. It's kinda morbid, but I research engineering disasters. I find them absolutely fascinating. Chernobyl, Regency Height Walkway, Tacoma Narrows Bridge, etc. I like to study and understand the chain of events and decisions that led to catastrophic failure. Like how a last-minute change in a design plan could lead to 100 deaths 3 years later. Or how moving HVAC units could cause a shopping center to collapse. It's a combination of learning about engineering principles, the need to be vigilant during inspections and maintenance, and human fallibility. Edit, my most popular comment yet. Awesome. If you're like researching disasters too, go find the National Geographic series Seconds from Disaster. I'll find myself binging on it for hours, even though I've already seen just about every episode. Greater than Tacoma Narrows Bridge. The video of that disaster is insane. We watched it during one of my engineering courses. It's like, bridges shouldn't do that. And to think it was all because of wind. Greater than bridges shouldn't do that. You should thank your engineering profs. They taught you well. I steal doors. Are you associated with that guy who stole somebody's entire porch? Yes, he is my cousin. Masturbating though, I doubt it's a secret. I hope it's a secret. My oldest son is 12. The last thing I want is to catch him masturbating. Let's hope he keeps it discreet. Nothing discreet about needing 4 pairs of socks a day. I get on Omegle and do free portraits of people on Omegle. I get a few laughs and I get to practice my skills. You must be an expert at drawing penises by now. And every nationality. Trash TV Love After Lockup, 90 Day Fiancé, Bar Rescue etc. Bar Rescue is so fun. Did you see that episode where the arsehole owner thought he was faster than any girl bartender and therefore refused to hire girls? Lol. Love John Taffer and how he puts the delusional owners in place. Is this like Kitchen Nightmares but for bars? If so, I'm in. I'm 6'5", big old farm boy with a motorcycle. I crochet. Not as much a hobby as a skill now. Just when my grandma was sick, she lived with us. She was bored and lonely, so took it upon herself to teach me how to crochet. It was special bonding with her while she taught me. I don't do it for a hobby anymore as I don't have the time, but have made some awesome rifle slings, carry bags, pouches and the like. I switched to paracord from yarn, and it's still a valuable skill to me. I knew a big old school cop in Chicago. A wagon guy. Smoked cigars to chase away the smell of the bodies kinda guy. He took it up to keep his blood pressure down, but swore dropping stitches was the most blood pressure raising thing ever. Putting on earphones without playing anything and observing others in crowd. It's so difficult to pretend that you're not laughing at them but at something you're listening to. COVID face masks made that way easier. Basic pucker. My mom has forbidden it, so I hope to God she never finds out. Greater than basic pucker isn't that just walking. His mother has forbidden him from walking naked hiking in our woods pretending him on naked and afraid. It's not super secret, but I'm careful about who in my life gets to know about it, because it's a thing not everyone is super comfortable with. My mother-in-law, for example, has no idea. And only a few people at work know. I raised tarantulas. My walk-in closet is converted to a temperature and humidity controlled spider room where I have between 50 and 70 of the little buggers at any given time, in a variety of containers. Mostly I buy them really small and raise them for a year or so and then sell them. I also have a good eye for a bargain. So I always have a rotating cast of characters. The psychotic little weirdos make me stupidly happy all the time. Do they have personalities? When is the earliest you can tell what personality they have? They do have personalities. Some of depends on their species, a lot depends on their size and age, and some of it is very individual. The smaller they are, the more likely their personality is to be runs and hides and the least little thing, but you can tell pretty quick which ones are more bold, or more reactive. And their personalities and behaviors change a lot as they grow. Buying books and stacking them in the shelf, but not reading them. Reading books and buying books are completely different hobbies. XD. I can feel it a bit. I've brought a sociology lexicon for myself, tons of psychology, novels, medical science and whatnot, also downloaded hundreds of PDF books, but I was waiting with them for an exact time. Weeks, months, etc. I can relate to your situation, Half-Lie. Looking at houses I'll never buy in cities I'll never live in on the internet. Love a good floor plan. Me too. I like to just pick a random city on Craigslist and start looking for houses. Nothing more fun than look at the most expensive house that I could never afford in 10 lifetimes. Lego. It makes me zen. Just happy I can buy a couple of sets a year. I build together with my wife, it's therapeutic. You are doing something together and talking about everything. No phone that interrupts. Just us talking and building. I really love those moments. My daughter is now 3 and is now starting to talk about dad's bricks, smaller than her Duplo. She starts helping and playing with it. Hope it will get something we can do together as a family to bond and it makes good memories for her later on. Pluck my legs hairs. Shut up, it's satisfying. Satisfying to pluck, also satisfying that those hairs don't come back in a day like with shaving. Competitive masturbation. I always try to beat myself. As fucking cringe as it sounds, I'm overall a more edgy seeming dude. I fuck around a lot and am really friendly, but my outward appearance is much different. I wear a lot of black jewelry, piercings, huge metal head. And I motherfucking love baking, oh my god. Every time I offer to bring sweets to events, people always freak out and are like, alright, but nobody eat them cause he's probably gonna lace them or poison us. Then I get there with the best goddamn brownies they have ever tasted. You should visit me sometime. Sometimes I like to reap the souls of the damned. That sounds like fun. How would someone get started in that? I downloaded a game to play with my nephew. He doesn't know I play when he's not around, but I always pretend I don't know what I'm doing because he seems to really enjoy teaching me to play. That's too wholesome. I sing when no one is around. I've been doing it since I was 14 and 22 years later I'm very good at it. My kryptonite however is singing in front of people. I've even tried recording a video for YouTube and knowing someone might see it made me choke. Them's the breaks. God, I've been singing since I was little as but I'm still terrible at it decades later. What's your secret?